The combination of JIRA and GitHub is the first model transform supported by Syndeia without a SysML tool on one side of the connection. In this video, we will demonstrate the basic functionality of this feature, including setting up a model transform connection from a JIRA issue to a GitHub issue, opening issues from the Syndeia dashboard, comparing contents of the issues across the connection, and syncing contents of the issues across that connection. In this video, we will create and update the connection from JIRA to GitHub, but the same functions work in the reverse direction. We will also use the Syndeia standalone application for this demo, but the same functions are also available with the Syndeia Magic Draw or Rhapsody plugins. As usual, we will launch the Syndeia standalone client from a batch file and choose a project to store the connections in. The Syndeia dashboard opens with the Repository Manager tab showing that we have existing repository connections to JIRA and GitHub repositories. On the Connection Manager tab, we first show the JIRA repository on the left and expand it to show the JIRA issue we want to carry over into GitHub. We can open this issue in the JIRA browser directly from this item by right-clicking and choosing Open. The JIRA issue shows its summary, description, assignee, type, and several comments. Back in Syndeia, we choose the GitHub repository on the right and expand it to show the project for the issue. In the center column, we choose Model Transform. Reference connections remain an option, which link existing JIRA and GitHub issues without sharing or transforming information. We create the Model Transform connection with the usual drag and drop, dragging the JIRA issue and dropping it on top of the GitHub project. Then confirming. We see the new GitHub issue in a few moments. Going to the Connection Search tab, we click Get All and see one connection, the one we have just created. From this row, we can right-click and select Open Target to show the GitHub web browser for the new issues. Notice that the JIRA summary is the new title, the JIRA description is in the body of the first comment, the JIRA issue is under labels, and the reporter and assignee are set. The original JIRA comments are carried over as well. Notice also that the first comment now contains a footer with a direct hyperlink back to the JIRA source issue, which the GitHub user can use even if they do not have Syndeia available. Back in Syndeia, we can right-click the connection to compare the two issues. The first row of the results in the Comparison tab shows whether there are newer versions of the issues available at either end of the connection. The next four rows show that there is a difference in four fields: summary, description, assignee and issue type in JIRA format, or title, the body of the first comment, assignee and label under GitHub. The four fields are green at this time because there are no differences that have arisen since we created the connection. However, the first row shows that there has been a modification to one or the other of the two ends of the connection. If we return to the JIRA web browser, we can see that there has been a change, that we now have a hyperlink to the JIRA GitHub file as part of the description. We can make some changes in this. We can change the summary and the description. and save them. Back in Syndea, we will refresh the JIRA repository and see the changes. We can also do another compare. Now all three first rows are red. A new version of the JIRA issue has been committed, and the summary and description no longer match their equivalents in GitHub. To update the GitHub issue, we can right-click and choose Sync Source to Target. We can do this from the Comparison tab, the Connection Search tab, or the Connection Browser tab. The comparison table now returns to all green, and we can see the changes in the GitHub repository. As we said at the beginning, these same functions should work just the same from GitHub to Jama. However, there are some restrictions on the JIRA GitHub model transform that users should keep in mind, several of them based on the JIRA and GitHub tools themselves. First, the Syndea user must have write permission in order to create or update issues in the target repository. Both JIRA and GitHub restrict assignee and issue type or label to a specific list of allowed values. Syndea cannot create or update an entry in those fields if it is not on those lists. The reporter or author in the target repository is the Syndea user who created the new issue, not the reporter of the original issue in the source repository. This field is not subject to compare and update. Finally, comments are carried over in the initial model transform, but are also not subject to compare or update. To learn more about the new JIRA GitHub model transform capability, refer to the two new tutorials with detailed instructions and screenshots. Technical support is available at www.intercax.com/help, and additional documentation will be available on the release of Syndea 3.3.